Alright, I think that looks good. That looks live there. Let me get everything set up on my phone for a comment monitor, and I'm going to share this with somebody on my phone. Let's go to, whoops, no, not my videos. My channel. Boom, boom, boom. Make sure we have the volume turned down all the way. I want to share this really quickly with one. Boom. Shared it with my one friend. Hop back into the YouTube app. Press the play button. And make sure we skip to the most current time. So when monitoring the most current time, we got one person watching. Hey, hey, hey. Let me know if it sounds good, if you can, please. A little bit tired. Let's get back into this. Whoops, wrong app. Give you a little update on what I've done. So, after I stopped the stream earlier today, I went on and I read the documentation. Not all of it, but a good chunk of it, most of it. I think I have like 10 pages left on this one document. And then, I don't know how many pages of this other document that I need to read. But the other one's a little bit shorter. And so, I read the documentation, and I learned mostly pretty much what I've already learned from watching YouTube videos and asking on support forums and my own experimentation. So, yeah, but I'm not too bad. I'm not sad about that. I'm going to finish reading the documentation. It is a good thing to do, and I probably should have looked into the help file to see if there was an entry before I asked people questions online. But yeah, so I've done that. Let me go ahead and disable my speakers so it's only earbuds playing now. Perfect. So I did that, and then after that I took a little bit of a break. I played a few games, remembered I was going to buy a phone today, went on to eBay, watched more videos and stuff while I waited for the time to end, set my price, and boom, I won the phone. So, I'll show you guys here really quickly. My current device is the OnePlus X. Oh, I love this phone. If you're not familiar with OnePlus, they're just a really good budget smartphone brand. Back when my OnePlus X came out a few years ago, they also had the OnePlus 3, $350 phone. Mine was $250. That $350 phone was just as good as the current generation $700 Samsung. So yeah, but yeah, I'm happy with it, except for storage space. But I love the AMOLED screen. I love having an FM radio. There are so many things I like about it, so unless I find someone who could really use it right now, then it's just going to go on a shelf when I get my new OnePlus 5, is what I got. And then when I have kids, it will be their first smartphone. And it will be like a good first smartphone. Maybe not completely up to date. Obviously not up to date with the latest Android OS. Yeah, but enough about that. Let me take a sip of my apple juice. A little bit more juice in here. Some more ice. One more sip. Oops. I think I left my garlic pods out there. Oh well. This actually tastes good with some slight garlic pod taste in the mouth. Oh, also, the other thing I did is I don't know how I zoomed. But I retract this. Excuse me. So I retract this, and when I did, it made things look better. No, it didn't make things look better. It fixed my track, I think. So we're gonna verify that really quickly. But it fixed the tracking points where they were off. It just, I don't know, just retracting it said, oh, this is where they're supposed to be. But I will want to demonstrate, though, there is a point towards the end here where it gets off. So I'm going to find really quickly where it gets off. Whoa. Way off if you look at the door on this. So let's go back to the last frame where... And this is one of those things where... Well, there we go. That looks right. This is one of those things where, like, the amount of work that you have to do on top of the tool, like, it works for a chunk of your project, but then all of the extra work that you have to do for the parts it doesn't work on just ends up being more, and you might as well just manual it from the beginning. Okay, so this is where things go whack, is... So, right. So now what I'd like to do, and I will use this one. I'm going to zoom in on this region up here and see if we can find out what exactly is going on. So it's going to be around here somewhere. So if we go... Huh. So notice where the... Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Notice how that jumps like crazy? That's a big jump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this frame where it was good. We're just going to hit track forward. And hopefully it fixes it. Sometimes that works. We might also adjust the area that we are tracking. So give you guys a little bit of info on where it tracks. So you see all of our squares over here. You see the solid line and a dotted line around it. The solid line is the pattern that we're trying to track. Everything inside of there, it's going to look for that and move to that as it moves frame by frame. The green line around it is where it's looking. So if something jumps outside of that green line, it's going to lose the track. So you want to adjust it. The bigger the green space is, lots of people have said this in the documentation, but the bigger the green space is, the, yep, oh, I got Jima with me too, who's happy. What are you excited about, girl? Me talking? My progress? So the bigger the green space is, the longer it's going to take to track. So but you can adjust this dynamically. So for some reason that doesn't even look like it's in the right spot. But whoops. Let's set that one to fit. Actually, you know what? This should be fit. And then this one we can focus in on this area up here. So even though it doesn't look quite right, it does look funny. Especially when you have more than one point that you're watching. So I'm going to skip forward. Oh, whoops. Whoa. Whoops. Nope. Oh. That's not right. This time I think I made it worse. Oh, wait. Whoops. There we go. So we need to go forward. Forward. Oops. One more. There we go. That's where it messed up. So if we zoom out, and I think we're zoomed out all the way. As you can see here, quite a big chunk that we'd have to manually do. Yeah, so what things that we can take into account at this point are, I'm going to go back to where it was good, and I'm just going to turn off these trackers. So we're looking at only, oops, what am I doing? I don't know. This is supposed to be fit. So I just want to kind of see what's happening. That one, whoa. Notice how there is a very sharp, oh, wow, that. So for some reason, right here, it loses the data. Why am I not? Oh, because it hasn't updated. So let's make it update. Check. Okay, so you see it's over here? Watch. Boom. So here's what I'm going to do is, I'm going to come to this frame here. We're going to turn all of these back on. I was just going to retrack, like move it a bit and retract, but that's going to move our door by a smidge. So I wish there was a track forward by one frame. So why is it all of a sudden just Let's watch our actual... So that looks like... Oh, it's jumping... Okay, so it's jumping in between the shift of frames. Like, you know, if you've been watching this, you'll know that every other frame... 2 people watching, hey. If you've been watching this, you know that every other frame is the same. I still don't know why, but I haven't Googled it yet. This is one of those things where the way I think I'm gonna search it, like, I don't think it's gonna find me very many results or anything. Like, an example of this is, so if you guys... I did a Let's Talk about this and kind of linked to the video, but that video I did with my friend, Clixie, or aka Granny, you know, remember Granny's Passion, Maximum Speed? When I did that, there was one shot where a lot of the time I was just using the automatic, control automatic stuff on my camera, auto mode. But partway through I realized I kind of want to go manual mode and make it look good that way, because, well, advantages of going manual, like, a camera might favor a brighter, grainier image where you're okay with a darker, less grainy image, and so you can benefit from having less grain and the darker image that suits your eye. Hey girl, want some attention? I'm going to give her a little bit of a chip here. So, that's one advantage. Another advantage is you won't have... It's going to stay, like, the objects that you want in focus. Here you go, girl. Not in focus, but in exposure. They will stay exposed. That hurts my ear, Jima. For the entire shot. So, as you shift around, they won't be getting brighter and darker depending on where your scene is. You know, like, oh, an example of this, the real life thing, I don't have video of this yet. I'm going to eventually do something on it. Like, the back door blinds were open, so we could see outside, and the camera's center was pointing at the couch, and I could see inside the house, and then I just moved it 1 inch upward, and it was now exposing for outside the window. That's an example. So I set my exposure, and the shot looked great, and then all of a sudden, the wind came along, and the clouds moved away. Bright sun came out, and I still have yet to figure out how they do that on set. Like, expensive... Hey, what? Whoa, 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 whoa. What's wrong, Jima? You okay? Here, have some more Pringle. I still have yet to figure out how they do that on set, because I haven't heard of, like, anybody specifically using auto mode. Auto mode for beginners is great, especially younger kids and stuff. If you just want to focus on making your film look relatively good, auto mode works. Stuff like that. But I don't think the professionals use automatic mode on cameras. They're always tweaking settings, making things perfect the way that they want. So, I still don't know how they do that, and Google searching did nothing for me. There might be somebody that's on the side adjusting exposure as needed, because I do know that they walk through shots. I've learned that you walk through shots and you find your focus points, so that you have someone manually focusing, which has the benefit of, you know, that your focus is going to be on point where you want it, for what you're focusing on. Whereas, I just used autofocus for my film and that worked, but I did have manual settings for the exposure, and the aperture. I think I'm using the 2 terms right. One is how big the lens is, and the other one is how long of an exposure we were recording for. And I will say, though, I'm on the Sony HX90V, and so I was using a... we've gotten off the task here. So let me finish this thought, and I'll be done. Inside, I was using 1/40th of a second. 1/40. I don't think it was 1/40th of a second. Oh, wait, yeah, 1/40th of a second. Because once you get to the inch mark, the quotation mark on there, that means second on there. So it was like 1/40th of a second at a 5.6 or 5 point something aperture, how big the lens is. That was my indoor shot. And then outside, I went as small as I could on the aperture. And then bumped up, which is like an 8 on the aperture. And then I bumped the exposure time from the 1/40th up to 1/60th of a second. And that's what I was able to get a good shot. But I tried to keep the aperture as close to what I was shooting with all the other times as possible. And it worked good. So that's, I'm not an expert on it, but let's get back to this task here. Why was I even going on about aperture and exposure and stuff? I forget. But so here, let's try this. I'm gonna go out to here, and I'm gonna set this to 2. Wait, does that... Okay, so 2... So, okay, so 2 makes it just 8. 0? I'm wondering if it can't calculate for that. So this is what I'm thinking about doing, is if I take all of these here, 9? If I take... that's still 8? Okay, 7. So I'm thinking if I take all of these and I modify their tracked center by just one tiniest little thing that I can modify it by, we'll try 6. And then I retrack, it's like it's moved over an inch. Or, no, it's moved over like a pixel maybe. And it's going to now retract this new pattern as opposed to... You know what? There is quite a bit of movement here, so it might just be that it's losing track, and I might have to expand my area. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop. Yes, I am sure I want to do that. So now let's... Why are both of these close up? This should be fit. So now we need to go back to where it looked right. Okay, so there's where it looks good. We need to hop forward till it stops right there. Back one more. Boom. There's where it stops looking good. Oh. I think it's because... So we're going to make... I think it's because my head's kind of wanting to tilt right a little bit more. This is a more comfortable area for me to look at the right monitor. Okay. If I scoot myself left just a bit. Still more comfortable to look there. But I'm going to force myself to look to the left monitor. Hopefully help my neck a bit. Kind of, I feel like my logic with that is, it's like I'm exercising the muscles that need exercise by doing so. So, yeah. Door, make the door right on. Make these points where they're supposed to be. Okay, so now what I want to do is... Ooh. So I want to select this one. Whoa. That search area is pretty big. Oh, that does drag the search area bigger. Okay, so now I know how to drag the search area. Okay, we're just going to go forward and watch it. There's this weird... You see, it's this jump. This... But why is the question? It's like See ya, I'm out of here, goodbye. But that... Okay, so I'm going to review what I know about trackers one more time. See if I can find any holes in the logic. Anything that says, oh yeah, this is why. So, and actually, ooh, this is a good idea. Watch here, you see... Let's do selected tracker, so... Yeah. This, oh, okay, so look, right here, you see... Why does it only have a 3? Because this is supposed to be like a flip book, and you can see where it messes up. Don't know much about that yet. I haven't used it yet. So, okay, so let's zoom in here, and I can explain trackers. So the way a tracker works is they're used for a lot of different things. They're used for stabilizing video, and if you have one tracker point, it only stabilizes the X and Y. If you have 2 tracker points, it can stabilize for rotation, and 3 tracker points will account for perspective. And then more tracker points can help, but you know, don't want too many. If you have 4 tracker points, then you can do, or even 3 tracker points. I think you need minimum of 3 for this. You can do a corner position. There's also, let's look at our operations here. There's also perspective positioning. I forget what that one does. But corner positioning literally matches the corners. And that's used for replacing signs or TV screens. So, and not just replacing, but blurring too. I've actually used this with the tracking tool inside of Pinnacle Studio. There was a shot where there were a bunch of phone numbers and stuff on the whiteboard. And it appears in like 2 places where you can actively see those numbers and read them. So what we did, one place, there wasn't an easy way to just blur the board. So what we did is we reshot that, and we made sure everything on the board area looked like it did in the shot. And we just changed the numbers a bit, like added some extra lines to them so that they were different letters and numbers. But it looked very similar. But for the original shot, where nothing crosses in the path of the board, I was able to just select the board with my tracker, the computer followed it, and then I said blur that area right there, and so it just blurred it a little bit. So you can't read them, but you know that there's squiggles on the board, which looks good. So that's another use of trackers. So when you're tracking, you select an area to track. Tracking that selected area happens with inside of this box here, so the solid lined box in this program Fusion here. And everything in this area is what it's going to look for. It's looking for all of this. So if it sees this shape right here, and maybe I have too big of an area, I might try shrinking down the area that it's tracking. That's what it's looking for. And the dotted line, which I've expanded, which I'm actually going to go ahead and undo a little bit, so I undo the expansion. The dotted line is the area that it's searching in. The smaller this area is, the faster the track will happen, but sometimes your object makes a big jump, and it moves outside of this area faster, so you need a bigger area to search in, which is better for faster moving objects. And, so for me, I've always gone with the default. 2 people watching, hey guys. I've always gone with the default settings for this. I just plopped it down, and it's done a good job, but I'm not tracking anything fast. You do want to vary this depending on your, situations. Things can be modified. You can change what it's tracking partway through. For example, if I really wanted to, I could drag this down, put it on top of the clock, and then hit track forward, and it would track that. It's possible to track the individual points without messing up your other track points. What else? I can't think of anything else that I've missed. So what I'm going to try now, because running through that, I'm going to just zoom in here. And, oh wait, that moves. Nope, undo. We do not want to do that. I want to take this line, and we're just going to shrink all of them down to a smaller area. Because they don't even really need that whole big space that we're tracking. Oh, also offset. Offset is another thing you can do with your tracker. Offset allows you to be tracking one point and have your object somewhere else, which is really important because when you're tracking an area, you want something with high contrast. So in our thing here, the top two corners are really good high contrast tracking points because there's clear white and dark area, and it's very unique. If you look around the shot for something that looks like these pixels, especially within the search area, a lot less likely to find them. Even anywhere in the shot, there's not much that looks like maybe kind of this kind of looks like that, but not really. Hey, girl. And so you need to pick high contrast points here. And you might have to use multiple points during your track because some points go off the screen. Quick rundown on trackers for you if you didn't know. Google for the rest of the info. Yes. Trackers, ladies and gentlemen. I want to pick... Okay, let's pick this corner here. Okay, that one looks good to me. Now let's select this corner here. Another thing I can mention, clicking and dragging on the line changes the size. Clicking and dragging on that dot in the upper left corner of our track things lets us drag the whole thing around and say we want to search this area. Okay. Okay, that I'm going to say is good. Okay, we haven't modified this one. We need to change, though, because it's not supposed to be super wide. Give it a moment to catch up. A little smaller, a little bit taller. Okay, let go of the mouse. Wait a moment, make sure it's done moving. There we go. That looks good. Now let's track forward. That looks a little bit better. Cross our fingers. There's still this weird straight jitter, which the camera never moves that far in one direction. Okay, the lines have changed. That looks a little bit better. Oh, wow, that fixed it, I think. I hope. Please. Please. You know what would be actually really useful and cool? Is if we could set this view to a track. Because the tracker is being viewed in there, but like, say, I want this view screen to follow our track points, which is useful so I don't have to move the screen, because as you can see, we go forward here, so let's click forward even more. That looks, whoa. That doesn't, the mask is not, let's check our mask here. Yeah, here the mask is not right. So all of these bottom mask points here, literally just need to come over like this. And that looks okay. The door doesn't need to be moved left a tidge. Oh, that's a good question. The question is, did I leave room for manually tweaking during our track? Because this is the, like, let's just check this out while we're here. So I would need to set the center to keyframing, but, I'm just gonna do, like, with this. Let's go 3 digits out and set this to a 9. Okay, so that does work. So we can fix where our mask got a little bit wonky. Also, I think this needs to be down some. Like, yeah, it's too tall at this point. So, okay, let's head back into our tracking tool here. So, the results are okay. I think this is the point where we need to make minor tweaks to it. Also here. This should be fit again. So there's a point where we lose the track, and we're going to have to manual it. We could also retract to another object in, like... I might choose to retract to the painting. The painting has some relatively high contrast points, except for the bottom corner, which goes behind her hair. But we don't have to track the corner, like track that corner, and then track that edge. Could work. Although the edge isn't super high contrast, because it doesn't have a corner. That rotation... Actually, the rotation seems right. If you look at the rotation of that in comparison to the rotation of this wall here and this door. So it's handled rotation okay. It just... Size. Size is, I think, our biggest issue here. And this is where I'm kind of torn. Because, this is where the corner positioning would be useful. But I wasn't able to get the offset right. If we pick perspective positioning, that looks horrible. Corner position, it's trying to fit it in that space there. We want to go back to match move. It's supposed to handle scaling. Duplicate, mirror, black, wrap edges, linear mode. What if we do subtractive? I don't know what that didn't modify our thing, so put that back too. Yeah, so it's hopeful. But the thing is, do I want to manual this? Like, not manual fully, but do I want to modify each and every frame? Because, like, there's some... It needs a bit... Let's go back to one of our earlier points here and see. So that looks good. What about right? Whatever that point is. Click right there. Oh, that must be where I retract. What I'm looking for is a frame where it really... Okay. We're pretty much back to where we were. It could come down a bit. So, question. Do I want to manual this? Not manual. Do I want to go and fix frame by frame all of the where it's messed up? Which, ideally, you only have a few spots where it's messed up and you fix those mistakes and go on your merry way. Hi, girl. Gonna have some sesame sticks. But in this instance, it's... It's not doing that. So do I want to go out frame by frame and fix the mistakes? Which, here's the thing. Tired. If I do that, what I'm could end up doing is messing things up because, like the... You know what? I'm going to try something. Let's go... Because... Ooh, nope. But, ooh, also, okay, so this is sort of okay. because here's where we start to lose our track points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head into my merge tool here, okay? And we are going to set the center to animate. And we're going to set the size to animate. For some reason, it looks like it needs to be a little bit smaller out here. Then why would it not need to be smaller farther away? This is confusing. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is... I feel it needs to be smaller, so I feel we're going to put this at 9. Oh. 59. 5. 8. Like, what? Oh. So it's, it is adjusting the size, but it's also going outside of our, like, if this is set to fit, we see the door is still there. So at 99, needs to be 95. I'm just going to call it, it's going to be 90, and then, oh, this isn't going to work, because it's changing it too much. Okay, and then what we want to do now is, let merge 5 center. This is our center, right? So then what we want to do is move it over, and we want to line it up as if it was really going there, which, got to keep in mind that there's a top piece that, that edge looks, it still seems a bit tall. 8? Maybe? No? That looks better. I like 8. Maybe a little bit taller. Like 8. So, now here's where we check and see if what we've done, because now it's going to be linear from the beginning to this, is going to change in size. And that, see how that's like warping around? And so when you watch that, the door would be jiggling, and it would be funny, and that's not right. So if I click back to, like, 60, 40, see, that's not... Oh, wait, whoa. Oh, I think so. Let's go back to our key. We didn't set the original, the first keyframe. So, okay, so here's what we need to do. We need to undo... Whoops. Why? So, the... 4, 5, 5. 399. So let's actually copy this. N. We need notepad. What is narrator? Oh, it's probably like a program. So X is this. And Y is not TY. Y is this. And 8. We can remember 8. 8 is easy to remember. So... Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not. So if we go back to... Oh, we have to undo it. Okay. So we got those numbers memorized. We need to undo this until... Okay, so we're back to we want to just get rid of our... See, there's still a little bit of green right there, meaning... There we go. So we got rid of our animation point. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hop back to the beginning, where, why is the door not there? Oh, right, because we can't even track from this point. That's why, so... It's jiggling all over the place. This is probably just going to be, like, why not manual it kind of a thing, but we'll find that out soon enough. So let's go back to where... The first frame where it actually looks good. So that right there looks decent enough to me. And we are going to set the, size... Oops. Animate. And the center should be animate. And we're going to skip back... Okay, so this is where it looks good here. Did I not? Okay, so set key and set key. It's right around here, almost there. Oops. So right here, we need to set our X position, and we need to set our set our Y position, and this needs to be set to 0.8, or not 0.8. Okay, so now it should be animated between this screen frame and this screen frame. So let's just random... Oh, I think we done it. Have we done it? Have we done it? Because this should be accounting for now the whatever was missed as far as the perspective zoom goes. Okay, so I'm going to save my progress here. I'm going to lay down and stretch out for just a second. I want to make sure that Dima hasn't gone poop again. Okay, I'll give myself a stretch. Mm-hmm. I should probably think about some Cena, some dinner. Okay, Jima, I'm going to sit up. I won't do it fast this time. It's going to be slow. So you can work your way up to my shoulder. There we go. Good girl. Okay, so question. Where do we make our... I'm going to say we make all of our modifications in there. Because, I don't know, it feels right, but we could also make some modifications here. Well, if we do those modifications here, and hopefully her cheeping isn't too loud for you guys. Yeah, if we make our modifications here, la-di-da, come on, sing, Jima. She probably is clipping the mic. Cheep! I can't say like her. I can't sound like you. Oh. Do you want to go back to the cage? Is that what you're looking at? Maybe. Okay, let's go back to... Whoops, wrong app. Good girl. Yeah. I love you, Gemma. It seems like you're also a little bit quieter too. Like maybe you're purposely looking away when you sing. Cause like her singing right into my ear, most of the time it's a little bit too loud. But right now it's okay. Yeah. Good girl. Okay, so getting a little bit hot in this. See if I can fluff some of that heat out. A little bit colder. Not by much, though. Or I could go get... I could go get myself a ice pop. Cool pop. But... not before dinner. So... what's even thinking? So... okay, so modifying it inside the tracker... I'd have to move the offset, and I haven't even moved the offset. Okay, no, so we can't... so all of the work is down to this piece right here. You know, if I picked a totally transparent image and put it under here, then I could skip that transform tool. I am off... what do I look like right now? Can you... I can't even see if you guys can see me. Barely. Whoops, turn off my monitor, turn it back on. Yeah, I am just leaning off my bed, getting a little bit comfortable here for a second. Let's pop back into our Fusion. This is one thing I liked about my old monitor versus my new one, is my new monitor has a pop-up, because the buttons on the front are kind of hard to see, where the old one, they were clear and gray. Very obvious, and it didn't, this one, like, you turn it on, and it pops up the adjustment controls. Like, this is where all the buttons on your monitor are, for you to modify how it looks and stuff. And that stays there for a second and then goes away. You guys can't see it, because it's only being displayed on the monitor. Okay, let's go back up. Actually, here, come here for a second, Gina. Huh. Oh. You know... whoa. Oh. Here you go, girl. Ow. Right now, I'm just checking her, nails. Because her nails are usually really sharp. And they still are a little bit pokey. Her toenails. But they do feel less sharp. Because I have a sanding perch where if she stands on it, it should help sand down the nails and keep them not so sharp. And I've moved it now to a place where she says hopefully will spend more time on it, and she actually has. And I think it's working. Good job, Jima. You're using it for what it's for. Yeah. So, everything is going to be modified now in this Merge 5. So what we need to do, pick our tracker here. And the reason we're choosing this tracker is it will specifically show us where the start and end is. Which is here at frame 22. So, let's give a little test and see how we feel for this process here. Okay, so, for this one we can zoom in here a little bit, and, okay. So, I'm gonna call that frame looks good. Frame 1 looks, well, not quite perfect, not quite pièce de résistance. Okay, so here we have our first issue, so we need to go back. Here we have a weird jump in our tracker here, so we need to be on this tool here. So, whoops, is that right? Yes, that is right. So here we need to set key, go forward a frame. Now here's where we need to make modifications. Like 9 is way too much probably. Oh. Actually, and what about our Y position here? 401, it's gonna be 402. Wow, 45. 410. let's just make sure that we like that by doing 4, 8. Yeah, okay, I agree with my assessment. 4, 1, 0. Actually, 2. Okay, there we go. I think that's covering up what it needs to. Let's just drop our blend down and see. And so now we check our, whoa. See how it feels like it's jumping up a bit? So this needs to be back to 8. Okay. Whoops. So it feels like it's jumping up just a little bit too much. So this needs to be 409. Whoops. Okay, so the jump occurs behind us. So here it's going down. So this needs to be 4, 1. Let's go kind of extreme here. 5. Okay. Oops. Still jumps up. Okay, so this needs to be like 4. Let's make this 5, 0. 6. Okay. There's also a smidge of... Ooh. Now it looks... Okay, so it is up still. 8. Whoops. Because I typed 2 digits in there. 4. 8. So now it looks like some weird rotational is going on. So going from this frame, looks like we're moving down. It looks like it's bigger here than it is there. So so left some more too. Like, let's make that be 5. That's too much. Guarantee you, too much. Now, okay, so let's undo. Okay, so I'm going to say up 9. 2, 0. Okay, so that looks a little bit better, I guess. And there's some weird rotation-y bits. Oh, Jima's off my shoulder, which is okay. Let her do some exploring around. While she's doing that, I am going to completely take off my sweatshirt. Whew. There we go, cool off a bit. So we were doing this to... Let's set this to fit. Full screen button, watch the two. It's doing something, obviously. You're gonna see... See, it looks like it gets a little bit bigger. So wait, here it looks like it's a little bit too tall. So what if we take the our Y position to back to 1.8. We'll go 1.7. Okay. Okay, so now let's set this back to our full screen view. Now the height looks better. See how it appears to come bigger at us? That to me looks like a sizing conflict here. So this is gonna have to be like whoops, no. Oh, 99. And we're going to have to move it left some to compensate. So the Y, 5.5. Now let's, that, oh, it's still, oh my goodness, it still looks like it's getting a little bit bigger. See right there, like it comes towards us, which in real life, it kind of, we are moving like 1 pixel closer to it. You know what? This is where I'm thinking it's gonna be faster to manual it. If only I had an expert, like I mentioned earlier, I was thinking about asking on the forums you do it for me, which if I do anything like that, I'm going to say, hey, I would like to learn along the way. Teach me what you did to make this work. In addition, I'm totally willing to try it myself, but I'm not having any luck with someone to be willing to try it for me. I'm going to have to stop in a bit here, get some cena, some dinner. I haven't done my Spanish class in a while either. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to do that. Well, no, first of all, I'm going to hit play, and we are going to watch. I'm going to let it play through, and then we're going to go back to the beginning and watch it. And hopefully once it's played through once, it will play a little bit faster. And then we'll be able to watch it and say, that looks really good, or, oh no, that looks horrible. Because you have to realize, too, that the focus is kind of on us. Me on the right, and my cousin on the left. Who, I guess this doesn't really spoil anything, but, she plays my younger sister in the film. So, yeah. Are you done? Are you done? You being slow? What if... Oh. If I make that small, does it play faster? Give my neck a good self-massage here, which, by the way, I'm not a huge fan of self-massages. Like, I'm fine doing them to myself, but the thing is, a lot of times, like, you're applying pressure, which feels good, but that also makes you want to relax, and you don't necessarily want to feel that pressure. Especially with your hands pressing against something else, they want to relax too. I wish my Weemie still worked. I'm thinking about doing a video on this on its own, but I haven't tested it in a few days. It's one of those magically fixed itself things. But my Weemie went bad the other day. Like, it had one drop on Christmas Day 2 years ago, and then the one drop on Christmas Day, the other drop, and after that, it's never had any more drops. It has rolled off my back a few times, but like onto my bed. And I opened it up and looked inside. The wire seemed fine. I like the idea of the product, but I'm not going to get another one because their customer service is absolutely horrible. Like, when I first got it and it had the initial drop, I asked if there was anything they could do. Maybe they'd be willing to fix or something. They didn't even respond back. Like, a good company would respond back and say, unfortunately, what happened to your unit doesn't meet the warranty requirements, and we can't fix it, we're sorry. But bad company, which they are, says nothing. Huh. Two stuck together. Give Gma one of these. Yep, she's walked right over and started nibbling at it. So, yeah. For some reason, that reminds me of the TARDIS. And now we're back to the beginning. And once it reaches frame 22, it will hopefully play a little bit faster. Oh. I think we lost it somewhere. Oh, yay, for a little bit there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this. Skip back to frame 22. Hit play. Oh, okay, so here's our preview. That actually doesn't look too bad. Full screen, please. Yes, girl. That's actually really, really good. So, let's exit full screen. Let's save our progress here. So, at this... Come on. Just get me back to the beginning. Oh, don't... Thank you. Thank you for not, like, freezing up on me. I'm gonna get another drink. Oh, no, it's still there. She was just covering the... I thought she had, like, nibbled it and it fell off the edge. It's still there. Let's take care of another poop from Gma. There we go. Let's see. Let's play this, blow that piece of whatever it was out of my keyboard. What? What is this? There's, Is this? Oh, that's disconcerting. I found chocolate. Yeah. That's where I put chocolate orange. Oh, joy. I need to get this room clean. And I know the next step, which is making space for my tripods and stuff to hang. That's for another time. Excuse me. Okay, we're gonna play it. A vote of confidence. Okay. Let's go back because let's make this full screen. Because it looks to me like there's one spot where it wigs out a bunch. Like, not... So it looks like it's... It looks like it's just the mask that we have to worry about here. So let's do some of that mask repair. Reduce the brightness on my phone, and for some reason my phone isn't charging, but it should be plugged into a working... Please tell me this isn't the case. I had my USB extender cable go bad on me earlier. It was from the dollar store, so I don't blame it. And now my free USB plug is going bad. I hope it's not this extender that's gone bad, because this is like a big extender. What if I'm going to unplug my brick, flop her around, plug her in, nothing. Okay, so maybe it's the brick. We're going to find out here in just a second. As soon as I grab my other extender cable, which I keep plugged in at the head of my bed with a USB cable plugged into it, so I can charge my phone and also like use it while I'm resting and whatnot, and actually hold it farther than, I don't know, 3 foot away from the wall. Peculiar. Actually, if it's this extender that has gone bad too, not to worry, because, whoops, no, I didn't want to play that video, I want to go back. Not to worry, because it was free? Yeah, it was free. It was at a garage sale, and I was looking through this bin, this suitcase, where they said these cables are, they said these cables are this much a piece. And as they were closing up the sale, I was still there, just kind of digging around, making sure there were no cables I needed. And they said, here, go ahead and take it, suitcase and all. And so I did. Here's a USB cable that should be working. And we can prove that it's working by, if I plug it in, oh yes, it lights up. So, plugging into my phone. Being a bit... Please tell me my phone hasn't decided to not take a charge. No! Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think my cell phone has decided to not charge. Okay, so there we go. If I hold it in the right position, it's finally taking a charge. Finally deciding to work. That is somewhat good. Oops. Final test here, and then back to our work, is if I unplug it from there, and then I want to plug it into my brick over there. Oh, okay, that brick is still working. So it could be this cable, it could be my phone, which is wigging out and being like, hey bro, I'm gonna cause you grief, pain, and suffering. So what were we doing? Anyways, mask modification, I think. So let's play, well, we want to ignore the top edge. The top edge is going to be covered up, so we don't want to worry about. So let's go ahead and fix our mask here. Let's leave full screen. I'm going to put my buds in and fill my ears with some sound. And I'm going to go get some Cena. Let's just play what I was last playing. If you'll play for me, won't you play for me? Please. No. My whole mouse is... Oh. Thank goodness.